Here you go. Not the game we might have thought it would have been earlier in the season. Eagles at Cowboys. Bias score 14.7 favors the Eagles. Now, as bad as the Cowboys are playing, if you think about the bias that the Cardinals had over the Jets, you might think that this would be a closer bias too, but the Cowboys just ain't there, man. What's going on here?
Well, yeah, 3-4 at this point for a Dallas Cowboys team is a little surprising. But let's talk about the Eagles first. They went to Cincinnati and they completely unloaded a barrage of offensive firepower on the Bengals. Jalen Hurts threw one touchdown pass, which was a beautiful 45-yard rainbow to Devontae Smith. I could watch that pass over and over again. Caught it right in the back of the end zone. It was beautiful.
Hell of a catch.
Yeah, hell of a catch. Hurts also ran for 3 touchdowns. I think 2 of them were tush pushes, and 1 was a quarterback sweep. And Saquon ran wild, had some great runs, and the really soon-to-be iconic backwards hurdle over a defender. That's crazy. But anyway, 108 yards on 22 carries. Real good game for the Eagles. Cowboys lost their 3rd game in a row. Lost it to Atlanta 27-21. For the first time in a while, they actually put together a pretty good run game. That's the crazy thing. And Zeke wasn't even there. He was suspended for showing up to meetings later, some old mess like that. Anyway, a combined 137 yards on 21 total carries is what they put up on the ground, but no touchdowns. They did get 1 touchdown pass from Dak Prescott in the 2nd quarter before he left later in the game. I think it was somewhere in the 4th quarter. He left with an ankle injury. That ankle injury may cost him at least 4 weeks if they put him on IR, which I don't think they've decided on that yet. The second TD for the Cowboys came in the 4th quarter on a pass by backup quarterback Cooper Rush. In between, they did get 2 field goals from Brandon Aubrey, but that certainly wasn't enough to even get them in this game. Even though the score looks a little close, it wasn't that close. I got to go with the Eagles in this one, going with the bias. I think the fat lady is warming up to start singing for the Cowboys.
All right. I do want to mention, because you mentioned those points were probably from the tush push. And actually, I think the tush push was a big failure. And that was part of the conversation about why they kept going for it on 4th down and leaving points on the board. And about 2 or 3 of those were tush pushes in 3rd down.
For 2-point conversions, right?
Huh?
Tush pushes for 2-point conversions.
2-point conversions, but also for instead of taking a field goal.
Right.
So yeah, that's why they put up. Well, that's why people are complaining that they left so many points on the board. I'm not sure what the coach is thinking, if he's like planning on something or he's just trying to get his tush push game together, because they don't have Kelsey underneath with that tush push anymore. So it's a new guy now.
It hasn't been as successful as it was last year. And I say that with a little bit of trepidation because I haven't really looked at the numbers. But just off of memory, last year it was like automatic.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for 1 yard. Now for 2 yards, I don't know. Okay, 2-point conversions from the 2. So that's a little bit tougher, especially if he doesn't get a good push. He has to get in a crack between the linemen, and then he has to get pushed. If he doesn't get between the linemen, pushing him doesn't do you a whole lot of good. So although they still have been quite successful with it this season, just not quite as much. Why he felt like he needed to go for 2-point conversions, I don't think he saw that on his little chart there. I think he was just trying to make some kind of crazy point. But that's why the fans are a little angry with Mr. Sirianni. But that's neither here nor there. They still have way too much firepower for the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, there you go. Going with the bias. Getting to be a habit with you here, Benny.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Should be a good week for the bias.